Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Arukah Kodash, and double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone that have taught us what we now know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bahashem Muharrakah Kodash, and double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone, including the bishops on down. All right. And it's your brother Laban. I can't forget. Shalom, Yahweh Shemiah Shabbat to the elect, whom is 144,000, and as well as the 1/3 who do follow. Now, let's get into this over here. As this reads, Donald Trump is not a threat to the deep state. Here's his warmongering record. Now, in this video, this guy here, he exposes the fact that he has elite billionaires, trillionaires backing him up, with the money. And, as we know, nothing comes for free, doesn't it? If you have all of these very powerful people that's putting money on top of your head, that means you're obligated to doing something. And, that right there tells you what you need to know about Donald Trump's place. They try to make out that Donald J. Trump is moving unilaterally and he's doing his own thing and he's going to be the main guy to restore America, to make him appear as the second coming of the Messiah, from a political standpoint, right? But in all reality, these devils are using this guy as a ploy to misguide the American people into believing that he's the one and only, okay? When in fact, he's going to be the one and only that's going to lead them to a place of confusion, because that's really what they want to do eventually, is they want to bring America down to nothing, to that level of confusion where there's nothing more than hysteria happening, all right? So, Donald J. Trump right now, people are analyzing, what happened during the moment when he, he so-called got assassinated, so to speak, right? And it's all coming out that basically this individual staged that event, or the people that was backing that staged that event, they really did that, not to kill the man, but to just simply cause mass hysteria, a civil war, just to be exact. All right. So now let's play this video.
We here are focused on geopolitics and economics. It's very obvious. It's in our name. And an issue that I often try to avoid is domestic partisan U.S. politics. It's very frustrating to talk about domestic U.S. politics because people tend to be very dogmatic and very partisan. They pick a party, the Republicans or the Democrats. They defend them no matter what. They treat the political party like a sports team or a superhero that can do no wrong. This is despite the fact that, ironically, the Republican and Democratic parties share a lot of their policies in common. The foreign policy that they carry out is 95% the same, this bipartisan orthodoxy. Much of their economic policy is the same.
Come on. It's the same government that have formulated these parties. Just like how you hear the term right wing, left wing from the same damn bird. And as the Bible puts it in the book of Revelations 13 and the 11th verse, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and it had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon, which this would be the eighth horn, which came out of the seventh, which is Great Britain. Primarily America, they would have a two-party system. All right? And he spake as a dragon, and he exercised of all of the power of the first beast before him, and caused of the earth and them which dwell them to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed, which was ancient Rome. Now in ancient Rome, you had the same party system. You had the plebeian, and as well as you had the plebeians, and as well as you had the let me see if I can. I'm gonna go back and research. You had the plebeians, and as well as you had the patricians. There it is. You had the patricians and the plebeians. So even back then, you had that same system set up. So America came back and adopted that system. All right. So if you are a part of a particular party, you have this so-called sense of democracy, which the term democracy means the people rule, from the word demo. The word demo means people, and the word cracy, which means to rule, right? And that could be further away from the truth. The truth of the matter is that there's only one power, and it's the elites that have all of the control of what goes on in America. All right. Or let's just say down here in the UK, the same thing we have. We have what is called the conservative, the Labour Party. All right. Which is also known as, conservatives, also known as the Tories. But again, it's the same government. It's the same system. And these politicians are bought and funded and paid for by the same people. So therefore, it makes no difference what party you're coming from, because all of the parties have been formulated by the same people. And guess what? Your prime ministers and as well as your presidents are being funded by the same people to doing the same thing, which is what they're supposed to be doing according to what they're assigned to do. That's why they're being paid by these people to do a deed. Just to mention.
Republican, they think that you're secretly a Democrat. So before I begin today, I simply want to emphasize that I am not in any way trying to defend the Democratic Party and Joe Biden, who has been a horrific president, which is why his approval rating is so extremely low. But I am going to be talking about Donald Trump and the fact of the matter that Donald Trump is not a so-called threat to the deep state. He's not a threat to the elites. Donald Trump is himself a billionaire elite who is funded by many prominent billionaires on Wall Street.
Right. So just like I said, if he's getting all of that funding like that, then he has a job to do. They're not going to give you that amount. I mean, come on. These billionaires are not going to just throw money in your pocket just for nothing because, they just simply like you. No. They're throwing money in your pocket because you're there to serve their interest, and they know that you're going to serve their interest. Okay? And just to add as well, like I mentioned in my last video, this dude, Donald J. Trump, has very, very strong ties with this individual by the name of Larry Fink, which is the CEO of BlackRock, which owns and controls the world. Okay? So this is what he said. He said this: Larry did a great job for me. He managed a lot of my money. And I have to tell you, he got me great returns, Trump said. So if you're capable of allowing a man to manage your money, that means that you are in close relation. There's a relationship there for you to trust somebody else with your money. And then what he said also as well is that he sold all of his stocks, and that he made sure that he got his money worthwhile. All right. So that's just how it is. What it is with DJ Trump. DJ Trump is working with the right kind of people to being the been in the UK for too long, for being the president that he became in the first place. To be the president of the United States, you have to be intact with a certain group of people. And the same certain group of people has to be funding you. So when he gets back in there again, what is he going to do? He's going to finish off where Joe Biden left off at. Biden's already led America closer enough to this third world. And guess what? DJ Trump is not going to do anything different. All right? So again, it doesn't really make a difference what side or what party you're in. It's all a bunch of baloney. So yeah, let me read this over here. Sirach 5 and verse 15, man. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Now Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because we are well awake and we have the light. With this light, we're able to capture every and anything. So all of these tricks, the wiles that the devil plays upon the masses, it's going to get played upon them because they're dead spiritually. But us, it's not going to get played upon us because we know this devil. We know the ins and out of what this guy's about. You know what I'm saying? So just like the bishops have already, did a lesson on this guy in regards to him being the false Messiah, right? Primarily the elder Ricard. Shout out to that elder over there. But he did a lesson speaking about that as well. Okay? And it was all the play from start to finish. From the minute when they had him under these court cases, even up to this particular point where he got supposedly so-called assassinated. It was all the play. All right? To make him out to be this guy that God is with. And also speaking about that as well, I had a video up here as well, and I want to bring that video back. All of that damn plastic surgery.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Like you, I have spent much of my time the last few days in prayer. And I know that God has put an armor of protection over Donald Trump.
And I mean, that's all I need to play right there. And they've been saying this all throughout the American media, that God is with Trump and this and that and that and this, right? And again, it's just only to make out that he's the last hope of the country. And the sad reality is that there's no hope. This is why this reads in the book of Jeremiah 17, 5. Jeremiah 17 and verse 5. Let me first do this. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and make flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Lord. Right. For he shall be like the heath in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, in a salt land, and not be inhabited. In other words, all of these people that believe in this system, so much so that they're going to side with the system by receiving the mark of it, they're going to be destroyed. All right? Because these people at the very top of the economic ladder which they created, again, they don't serve the interests of the people. They never did. It was always about their agenda and their agenda at large, which was all about having you in a technological case of hardcore slavery. That's always been the goal. All right. And guess what? DJ Trump is going to forward that because that's what he's being funded to do. Just like the previous presidents, whether they were Democratic or Republican, they all had to meet the same people and receive the same funding from the same people. Salakia. All right. So that's all I got for this right here. That's all I have. Shalom.